G'day Spurs fans, Paul the Hotspur hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet, and I've just been bitten by a mosquito. It hasn't happened all day. Guy got a good chunk out of me, and of course, mosquitoes. He didn't get his fill first time, he'll come back and have another go. Anyway, I hope you're all well. Just had to get out of my concrete box, get out into nature, so I'm a bit tired. I've been walking around a bit, but you know, some people have been asking me on the channel about mental health. And I haven't got any easy answers for you because we live in an artificial world, disconnected from the planet. And one of the answers I've got, it doesn't cure it, but getting out and about in the trees, by the water, it helps. It helps. It reminds us of what it's like to be a human being. Anyway, enough of that old tosh. Destiny Udogie, 7-year contract. I don't want to put a downer on things. I don't want to, you know, poo on people's rainbow parade or anything like that. But, and look, this is nothing against Destiny Udogie. I think he's a great player, fantastic player, one of our best, probably the best left back in the country. But 7-year contracts, man, I just, it worries me. It worries me. It worries me that it takes a bit of the hunger away. Maybe Destiny is a special case, but we're talking about it with Pape Matar, another great player. And look, if the last few games is any indicator of what we should be giving them, then yeah, whatever, go for it. I don't want to be Mr. Grinch about this, but I just think it's a risk. And I've got to put my Tottenham hat on here and think it's a bit of a risk. Giving players 7-year contracts, so Destiny signed till 2030. Could work either way, really, couldn't it? Like if he maintains his fire and he's really good, we'll win in one of two ways. Either we'll win loads of stuff with him, or he'll become so good that someone will just be able to give us an offer we can't refuse. You know what I mean? So when you've got 7 years on the books, that's good financial sense. Just from a football sense, I have a bit of a problem with it. And I was lucky enough today to have a Scottish guy in the car who was a semi-professional football player up in Scotland, claim to fame. He got to the 4th round SFA Cup proper, played Dundee United, lost 3-0. He's a Rangers fan, but no harm was done because I didn't drop him off near a school. So, you know, he was kind of all right. But, you know, I do have my boundaries with Rangers and Arsenal fans, let's face it. But he was kind of the same ilk. He was a young guy, you know, and he was used to working year on year, which maybe is a little bit harsh, especially, you know, if this is your stock in trade and you get an injury or something like that. I wouldn't want a footballer to, you know, be hard done by if they, you know, sign a year contract and got injured a month before the end, and that's it, their career's over. You know, there's a balance there. For me, something like 2 or 3 years, maybe 5 at a push. We've been burnt by these things before though, haven't we? That's the problem at Tottenham. And maybe these are a different quality of player. But people are people, man. People are people. Which is why I like to get out in the forest and woods once in a while, or every day if I can possibly do it, just to clear my mind. But it's like talking to Steve Perryman and also listening to Steve Perryman's podcasts. He would emphasise, you know, about the longevity of his career. 17 years. I've heard him ask this so many times. 17 years, Steve. How did you keep going that long? And his answer was, at like the end of every year, he had to find a way to make himself selectable for the next year. The onus was on him. It wasn't like, oh, I'm here for 3 years. Oh, just, you know, ride it all out. Everything's happy as Larry. Every year, he had to either change position or work on a technique or get his fitness up or get his football brain ticking over. Something that gave him that competitive edge over all these other players that wanted to come in and play for Tottenham. And that desire to play for Tottenham is also the other thing that I'm a bit worried about. We saw what happened with Harry Kane. 6-year contract signed by his brother, agent extraordinaire. And the last couple of years, it was clear he wanted to bloody well go. And if you want to go, go. Even though with the maybe exception of the first few months of season before last, where he did actually go off the boil and put down tools, really, he's stuck at it. And I don't want players to be in that situation either. It's a double-edged sword. I'm all for power to the people and all that. And but especially these days when you're talking about footballers that are on 100k a week, 100k a week, easy. Eric Dier's on 80k a week. What does he do? Less than me. Less than me. In fact, Tottenham, if you want a centre-half that you can get maybe 5 minutes out of in the next 10 years, I'll do it for 10k a week. I'll knock your door down for 10k a week. Hit me up. But you see, it's a two-way street. The player has got to want to play for the club. And I'm just wondering if signing players for 7 years is a bit of a sign of, and I'm backing up the hearse and letting you smell the roses here, is a bit of a lack of ambition for the club. If you had more ambition, if you were sure that you were the place that players wanted to come because we were going places, you wouldn't have to tie them into 7-year contracts. It'd be 3 years. 3 years, and if you're good enough, you can, and we want you, sign on for another year, so another 3 years. So I get it, people are happy about it, and look, I'm personally happy for Destiny so far. So far, you're only as good as your last game, kid. I'm just a bit wary about it. Sets a precedent with the rest of the squad as well. Well, now Destiny's got this big deal. What about the rest of us? Okay, well, Papa Matasar's another one, and he's a young player. So even after, even in 2030, they're going to be, 27, 28, not, prime, when they'll be going off on a free. Maybe, unless we've won like 5 trebles and 2 quadruples or something by then. You know what I mean? I don't know. I get it that people are happy. I'm unconvinced. I'm a positive Spurs fan. I love the way we're going. I love what Ange is doing. We're still in a title race. 7-year contracts, man. Don't know if I'm convinced, man. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I don't reply to comments, but I do read them. They give me a bit of a tickle from time to time as I'm driving around. Anyway, I'm going to walk back down to the water over there because the sun's about to set. And it's absolutely beautiful, and it just washes away bloody life and the world a little bit. So until next time, folks, peace and love, man, and come on you Spurs.